Coming in at number 10, one McDonald's store is entirely run by robots. Has the AI takeover begun? Good question. The rumor has it that McDonald's are slowly replacing their staff with robots and have started by trialing it at a number of restaurants in the southern states of America. The reasoning behind what are being dubbed as McRobots is that McDonald's doesn't want to pay its staff a living wage and instead would rather invest its money on a robot force that would be cheaper in the long run. It seems that this urban legend can trace its origin back to May 2015 when a fake news article was published on the website News Examiner. Now, this website claimed that a store in Phoenix, Arizona had replaced staff with robots. Snopes debunked it, but it hasn't stopped people believing that McRobots are out in full force. Coming in at number 9, McDonald's brainwashes kids. There might actually be something to this. Urban legend has it that McDonald's has some kind of sneaky way of brainwashing kids, and to be honest, it isn't the most unlikely thing. A 1996 survey of American school children found that 96% of them could identify Ronald McDonald. That was 20 years ago. I bet every child could recognize the golden arches today. According to Time magazine, in 2013, 40% of parents reported that their child asked to go to McDonald's at least once a week. How are they doing this? Apparently McDonald's are brainwashing kids by very targeted marketing. McDonald's latest way to brainwash kids of America has allegedly been showing them a documentary called 540 Meals. Now, this is a movie produced by the fast food giants about a high school teacher losing weight by eating only McDonald's food. Coming in at number 8, we have the story of the McDonald's built on the ancient burial ground. Legend has it that a McDonald's in Rock Rim, Colorado Springs is built on an ancient burial ground. This is some poltergeist stuff right here. People just don't seem to have learned not to build things on ancient burial grounds. Honestly, it's always asking for trouble. This store in question has been haunted by a very angry looking Native American man with a quote-unquote dour face. Apparently the disgruntled ghost turns on taps, jangles keys, and produces phantom screams. Locals say that the area was indeed an old Native American settlement and burial ground, however this is unsupported by any archaeological evidence. Coming in at number 7, it's a classic. Ronald McDonald is a member of the Illuminati. According to some conspiracists, Ronald McDonald started the killer clown craze. A blogger called Bruce started the rumor, saying that the clown is a subtle representation of Satan. Now, this was apparently designed by Illuminati McDonald's chiefs in order to appeal to children in order to make them more susceptible to notions of Satan and hell. According to Reddit user 911bodysnatchers322, there is some kind of strange weight to this rumor, this new urban legend. They say that clowns are used as a trigger in some kind of Illuminati mind control technique. Coming in at number 6, very worrying, McDonald's gets you pregnant. This is a weird urban legend for sure, but some people out there think that eating McDonald's fries after sex can get you pregnant. Apparently, a whole host of women trying to conceive think that eating large portions of McDonald's fries after sex will absolutely do the trick. Founder of UK website Channel Mum, Siobhan Freegard, spoke about the myth, saying that it's very popular among the surrogate community in the UK as a pregnancy and conception hack. She said, "We genuinely don't know why it has caught on and why it has to be McDonald's, not any other fast food chain. But is it actually false?" Laura Dixon from Essex had been trying to get pregnant for 10 years. Now, she puts the conception of her triplets down to McDonald's. Laura was previously a vegetarian, but as she was struggling to conceive even with IVF, doctors advised that she gets more protein. She then regularly started hitting up McDonald's stores, and eventually she did fall pregnant, craving the fast food more than ever. She put on 75 pounds in 35 weeks by eating 6 McDonald's meals a day. She then birthed her 3 kids, Mason, Max, and Mia, in 2012. Coming in at number 5, McDonald's burgers are made of earthworms. Now, this rumor dates back to 1978 when people started referring to McDonald's burgers as McSquirmies. The rumor actually started about fast food chain Wendy's, and then they were perpetuated by false reports that actually there were undercover investigative journalists involved and they discovered that there were worms in the beef patties. In classic urban legend style, the rumors were then switched to focus on the biggest fast food chain in the biz. The rumor actually became so strong that sales were affected in the American South. McDonald's responded by by denying that there were any protein additives, although they failed to mention the word worm. Getting even crazier at number 4, apparently there are cow eyeballs in McDonald's burgers. Since Wormgate in the 1970s, McDonald's has been quite vigilant on reiterating that they only use 100% beef, but are they cheating with the definition here? Sure, the burgers might be 100% cow, but are they using more of the cow than customers are comfortable with? One scary and very popular McDonald's urban legend is that fast food giants use eyeballs in their burgers. This doesn't seem to be in line with the United States Department of Agriculture though. They say that an all animal byproducts and fillers need to be clearly labelled, so there isn't really any way that McDonald's could be doing this without labelling it. Coming into number 3, we have the urban legend of the haunted McDonald's bench. Legend has it that there is a haunted Ronald McDonald bench in Cuernavaca in Morelos, Mexico. It seems that one evening, 2 drunk guys were out and about and wanted to get some food after some solid drinking hours. It's a tale as old as time, right? Get drunk, need a burger. These guys got their burgers and they sat on a bench outside the restaurant munching away. When they finished, one of them thought that, you know what, they'd call it a night. One guy turned to the other and said, "I'm tired." Now it seems that this was the moment that the inanimate Ronald McDonald on the bench decided to pipe up. He turned his head, smiled and said, "I'm tired too." One of the guys had a heart attack because he was so scared and shocked. His friend rushed to get help. Now the guy survived but was in hospital for a long time. Apparently the whole thing was caught on CCTV, but McDonald's destroyed the footage and hushed up the incident. I for one do remain pretty skeptical. Coming in at number 2, there are knives and heroin needles in the ball pits. Some McDonald's restaurants come complete with a play area, and who doesn't love a good jungle gym, especially one with ball pits? The only thing is, ball pits are actually kind of gross if you think about them. Have you ever watched a kid play in a ball pit? Those little sods, like, they lick the balls, they wipe their snotty hands on them, it's all kinds of gross. Although another kid's saliva isn't the scariest thing found in a McDonald's ball pit, that is, if the urban legends are to be believed. It seems a child died in 1994 after playing in a ball pool. The urban legend has it that 3-year-old Kevin Archer was pricked by a hypodermic needle containing heroin as he dived in the sea of balls. A story circulated on the internet in 1999, apparently written by Kevin's mother, who said that her son died of a drug overdose. After his death, police allegedly removed all of the balls from the pit, and what they found was disgraceful. Apparently the balls only get taken out and cleaned once a month, and in this pit in Sugar Land, Texas, authorities found rotten food, feces, diapers, half-eaten candy, knives and needles. Kevin's mother signed off the message by saying that readers should check the October 10th, 94 issue of the Houston Chronicle, although of course there is no such mention of the death. Finally at number 1, this is the scariest McDonald urban legends that I have ever heard of. Coming into number 1, there is a mutant meat lab out there. In the early 2000s, rumours started flying around the internet that McDonald's meat was made from genetically modified cow mutants grown specifically to be burger food in a secret lab somewhere. The original source seems to be from a fake email uncovered in Brazil. The email said that people who had seen the creatures reared in the lab were absolutely horrified. They said that the mutants had no limbs, bones, horns or fur, that their heads were the size of baseballs, and that they were fed through tubes directly into their stomachs. The email also stated that those who eat this meat are at risk of catching a disease akin to AIDS and Alzheimer's. What on earth? Coming in at number 10, we have the legend of the pink slime. You must have seen those pictures of horrifying looking pink slime being troughed in a factory. At first people are like, oh okay cool, strawberry milkshake, a bit gross, but you know. However, reportedly this goo is what forms the meat in chicken nuggets. Grim. The pink slime is said to be mechanically separated chicken smashed and processed through a sieve. It isn't just meat either. Reportedly the pink goo contains eyes, guts and other bits of offal. When this picture was circulated, a lot of people were thoroughly grossed out. Now McDonald's changed their ways in the early 2000s, no longer using mechanically separated meat and constantly refuting the pink slime allegations. However, with the scary image out there, it's one of those truth-based urban legends that I don't think they'll ever shake off. Coming into number 9, we have the McGangbang. I'm sorry, what? What on earth is the McGangbang? A good question. To be honest, I think that the name of this urban legend is scarier than the actual legend itself. Either way, you may have heard people talking about McDonald's secret menu items. Sure. fine, apparently they exist, I guess. One menu item that caught media attention is the alleged McGangbang. What a name, what a sandwich. The much discussed McGangbang is a combo of McChicken and a double cheeseburger. There have been videos of this mystery burger too. The sandwich became so entrenched in urban legends that 8 News even ran a segment on it. It turns out it's all a myth though. McDonald's has never formally admitted that they even have a secret menu. It seems that people have been just fusing their chicken and beef patties together to form their own sandwich. The 8 News segment is hilarious though. There's one lady who finds the name a disgrace. A disgrace!
The name itself, it's like, it turns you off. Especially if people have morals.
Coming in at number 8, we have the mystery drive-thru girl. This is a particularly good McDonald's creepypasta. The story goes that one day, a guy stopped at a McDonald's drive-thru and paid for a sausage breakfast burrito on his debit card. A young female employee rang it up, and when she handed him his card back, he noticed it was really hot. He thought this was really weird, but the girl would move from the window. There were cars behind him beginning to beep, and he didn't want to cause a fuss. He did a double whammy that day and ordered Taco Bell for lunch. When he handed his card over, the cashier recoiled as if it burnt them. Weird, he thought. Again, he just carried on with his life. Later, he saw on the news that a Taco Bell worker in his area had a horrible accident and had fallen into a vat of boiling oil. He got deep fat fried, which is not ideal. He then watched the news segment and realized that it was the guy who had served him earlier that day. Really creepy. Then the guy went to Walmart to do some groceries. Now, he'd popped in the night before to buy a few bits for dinner, but that evening he wanted to do a full shop. When he arrived, there was a police cordon. A member of staff had been found hanged. Crazed paranoia was now running through his head, and he decided to visit the gas station that he'd been to and used his card in on his way home the night before. When he got there, he went in and asked to speak to the cashier who'd been helping him the day before. A different worker said that they'd gone home sick later that night and they hadn't come in for their shift that day. The writer then said he knew it had something to do with the McDonald's girl and the debit card. He went back to McDonald's and asked for the girl, but the manager said that nobody fitting her description worked there or had ever worked there. Coming in at number 7, McDonald's spike their food with drugs to make it addictive. It's a classic story, isn't it? And to be honest, 15-20 years ago, I wouldn't have put it past them. Some people swear that McDonald's spiked their food with heroin to get people hooked, raising a whole nation or even a whole global nation to be dependent on their snacks. While this urban legend prevails, there is no proof that this is the case. There aren't any illegal chemicals used in McDonald's food. However, that being said, just because it isn't illegal doesn't mean it's great. McDonald's does purposely make its food addictive to the taste, and a whole bunch of chemicals deemed acceptable by the Food Safety Agency have been shoehorned into their food. One reason you might feel so addicted to fries is because of the hydrolyzed milk compound that produces MSG. Now, MSG is seemingly an addictive substance, and it's used to enhance flavors and perpetuate food cravings. If you eat a bunch of McDonald's and find yourself wanting more, MSG might be the cause. Coming in at number 6, we have the legend of the screaming sign. One McDonald's restaurant out there in the USA is said to be haunted by a very angry ghost. In fact, it isn't so much the restaurant as it is the sign outside the restaurant. Now, local law says it is the spirit of a disgruntled customer who was killed as they tried to walk through the drive-thru. Of course, one customer caught a short video of the sign screaming and screeching as it shows off the menu. To me, it's pretty scary. This was uploaded on November the 23rd, 2017 by Floberson. I'd actually be terrified if I was the one videoing this. If there are any ghost hunters watching, why don't you let me know what this sign is saying? What are they trying to contact? Coming in at number 5, we have the legend of the Vermont fry cook. Urban legend has it that somewhere in Vermont in 1999, a fry cook walked into the middle of the restaurant and poured himself in scalding hot oil. He didn't even flinch when this happened, he just doused himself in it. The legend said that several of the customers started to laugh and roll around in the burning oil alongside of him, and all were rushed to hospital and died. But one. There was only one survivor who was doused in oil, and that woman lost the ability to speak, so she couldn't tell her story. Weirdly still, the manager of the restaurant claimed he didn't remember even hiring the fry cook and that he wasn't in any official paperwork. His name tag didn't even have a name on it, just several hashtags. Of course, on googling the incident, nothing surfaces. However, it is claimed that the McDonald's PR team were involved in a strict cover-up operation, burying the story. Coming into number 4, we've got more deep fat fryer action. We've got a worker who falls into the fryer and becomes a human crisp. Many people will tell stories about a friend of a friend who knew someone who worked at McDonald's and they died by falling into the deep fat fryer and they were found the next day looking like a human chicken nugget. This is a popular urban legend and I can almost guarantee it's in a movie somewhere, probably like Final Destination. If it isn't, then you can have that one for free on me. Despite this being textbook scary McDonald's legend, there is some truth to these stories. Health and safety is getting a lot better, but people have in the past been very seriously injured by fast food chain fryers. In 2016 in Melbourne, a McDonald's worker made the news when she fell into a vat of 160 degrees Celsius oil. It seems that this restaurant's fryer drainage system was broken and that the oil was being drained into a huge bucket instead. Now the employee walked by this bucket, slipped and fell into it. Now the whole incident was caught on camera. The poor woman is seen screaming in pain and needing skin grafts on her arms and legs as a result of the accident. Sure, she might not have been turned into a human nugget, but the reality of this situation, the truth behind the urban legends, is horrifying. Coming into number 3, we have secret beef. There was an urban legend going around for years and years that McDonald's were mislabeling some of their food as vegetarian, and in fact they were made with beef extract. Well, you may find some of the urban legends on this list far-fetched, but this was actually true. Why is this scary, Rebecca? Well, imagine being a vegetarian or a Hindu and thinking that you were eating something that coincided with your choices or your beliefs because the company tells you that they are. Then you find out that they lied and you've been putting something in your body that you don't believe in. What else could McDonald's have lied about as well? In 2002, McDonald's Corporation agreed to donate $10 million to Hindus and other groups to settle a lawsuit in which they were found guilty of mislabeling fries and hash browns as vegetarian. They were found to contain beef, and since then McDonald's has corrected the glaring error and both menu items are meat-free. Since 2002 they've also worked towards creating a more vegetarian-friendly menu. But again, if they were lying for decades, for me, this just isn't okay. What else could they be lying about? Coming into number 2, we have the legend of McDonald's starting the scary clown craze. A series of Japanese McDonald's commercials were accused of fostering the killer clown craze of 2016.
いつでもそこにマクドナルド
In the commercials, Ronald McDonald is straight up acting like a super creep. He places a number of weird calls and then he is seen lurking outside a woman's home a la creepy clown style. In another commercial, he is hiding under a woman's bed without her knowing, and another shows his creepy clown gloved hand opening a locked door from the inside. Anyway, McDonald's were called out for perpetuating the clown issue, with many saying that they straight up started it. In a statement released to tackle the rumors, McDonald's said, "McDonald's and franchisees in the local markets are mindful of the current climate around clown sightings in communities, and as such they're being very thoughtful in respect to Ronald McDonald's participation in community events for the time being." So basically, after igniting the bonfire, Ronald was stepping back from the blaze to watch it burn. You're creepy, Ronald. You're creepy. Finally, coming into number 1, we have one of the most popular McDonald's urban legends around. We have the classic human finger in the burger. Haven't we all heard the one about someone finding a human finger in their food? You know how the urban legend goes. A kid goes into McDonald's with their mum, they order a Happy Meal, but as well as getting a toy car or a plushie or whatever, they find some kind of human body part nestled amongst their food. In 2014, some news publications claimed that a 5-year-old boy from Vermont discovered a human finger in his Happy Meal. The article in Empire News said that the boy's mother only discovered something was wrong when she found the finger in her son's mouth. The mother, Erica Silver, said he ate his nuggets and apple slices. When we got home, I noticed he was sucking on something. I thought at first it was an apple slice, but I screamed in horror when I pulled it out of his mouth to discover it was a finger. I'd know about this. Now the boy was taken to the emergency room and checked for illnesses. Where did the finger come from? Good question. Were people being chopped up and put into burgers? It's another classic urban legend. Now according to the same article, the restaurant manager said that he literally checked all of the employees' hands and all of them still had their fingers. He believed that the restaurant wasn't the cause of the problem, either the finger came further up the industrial ladder or the family themselves planted it in their meal. A lot of people called this story a hoax, but with the rumour mill constantly churning, it seems like a familiar story. Coming in at number 10, we have the pink slime. Get a load of this picture. I'm almost certain that you'll have seen it before. It's been widely circulated on the internet. If you think soft serve strawberry ice cream, then you think, but if you look at it and think about an animal, well, it's immediately pretty gross and extremely unappetizing. The image was said to be mechanically separated chicken, an entire chicken smashed up and pressed through a mechanical sieve. That's right, no meat wasted, and even if that meat is eyeballs and brains, it's still in the pink slime. No to pink slime. The pink slime was attributed to McDonald's chicken nuggets, although others were saying that actually it was mechanically separated hamburger meat. Either would be totally gross and a total desecration of anything even resembling meat. After reading an extensive Snopes article, it seems that the pink slime isn't chicken, but could well actually be boneless lean beef trimmings. Since 2012, McDonald's and a bunch of other fast food restaurants have agreed to stop buying BLBT. Coming in at number 9, we have the finger in the chili. The old finger in the chili urban legend. Now, I'm from England, not North America where Wendy's is located, but even I have heard of this popular legend. The story goes that in 2006, a Wendy's customer, Anna Ayala, found a finger in her bowl of chili at Wendy's in a location in San Jose. The story became huge and was circulated globally. It disgusted people in states and beyond into the wider world. It damaged the Wendy's brand and the fast food industry as a whole. It turns out though that Miss Ayala and her boyfriend Jamie Placencia had placed the finger there themselves as part of an extortion scheme. The two landed themselves in jail for 9 years, and to be honest, I think that's probably fair. Don't go around placing severed fingers in your food. Coming in at number 8, we have the secret menu. You always hear people talking about secret menus at fast food restaurants. You will see blogs online dedicated to sharing secret menu items, and people convinced that they are in some kind of delicious illicit society by knowing that actually you can order a KFC sandwich with chicken tenders instead of bread buns, or 10 burger high stack creations at McDonald's. The truth of it is that many fast food restaurants will serve you items that aren't listed on their menus because they're easy enough to make. I ordered a butterbeer from Starbucks once, for example. For most restaurants, it isn't just a conspiracy, although In-N-Out Burger do have a secret menu. It's listed on their website under Not So Secret Menu, which maybe defies the point. Some secret menu items are still just urban legends, like the McGangbang, for example. Although life imitates legend, some stores you can actually find the McGangbang. Weird. Coming into number 7, we have the spelling error. Ever been to Starbucks and ordered a drink and had a totally weird spelling on your cup? Say you're called James, but your cup has come back with like JAAYMZE. Here are a few of my favorites. Let's have a little look. Okay, guess what they actually say. This is a fun game, I want to play it. So this one is actually supposed to say Barbara. This one is supposed to say Laura, and oh dear, it's all gone wrong with this one. It's supposed to be Anne Louise, and well, she's straight up got anus. Rumour has it that Starbucks spells your name wrong on purpose because it's more likely that you will share a picture of your drink on social media and they will get more brand advertising that way. It's certainly a widely perpetuated conspiracy theory. Coming in at number 6, we have the animal fat milkshake. Urban legend has it that your delicious McDonald's milkshakes contain more animal fat than their burgers, heavily striking them from the list of vegetarian things that you can eat at the restaurant. While most people don't go to McDonald's to avoid meat, they don't expect to find it in their drinks, right? Well, it seems that the pig fat content of their drinks is nothing more than an urban legend. Although that being said, often there is actually more fat in one of these drinks than in the burgers. For example, there are 28 grams of fat in a large vanilla milkshake and 1,100 calories. There are 26 grams of fat and 520 calories in a quarter pounder with cheese, so you know, it's actually healthier to have the burger. Coming into number 5, we have horse meat tacos. So legend has it that there is more than just beef in your tacos, and I'm guessing that is a concern for many fast food restaurants. There's no way of knowing what the companies are saying is in their food is actually what's in their food. I guess the horse meat scandal was one prime example of that, and it perpetuated many urban legends about fast food ingredients. So the truth of it is that Taco Bell was wrapped up in the 2013 British horse meat scandal when their 3 UK outlets were showing significant traces of horse meat in their ground beef. This is a fundamental ingredient to pretty much all of their menu items. Again, a lot of people theorize that Taco Bell is just the same ingredients served different ways. Coming in at number 4, salads are healthier options. I don't know if anyone still believes this, to be honest with you, like surely not, right? When it comes to fast food, never trust a salad without checking what's in it. Fresh vegetables are better for you than unrefined sugars, carbs, cheese and greasy meat, but a lot of fast food salads actually come with all of these things as well. Wendy's garden salad with mandarin chicken is worse than their double quarter pounder burger, although it does weigh a lot more, so it is more likely to fill you up. The Taco Bell Fiesta salad has 45 grams of fat and 840 calories, so that's more than most of their burritos. Also, the Burger King chicken tender crisp salad has more calories, fat, carbs and sugar than their Whopper. I'm not saying don't get the salad, I'm saying check ingredients and nutrition information if you want to know that you're getting a healthy option. Coming into number 3, we have the Eternal Burger. The rumour is that fast food, especially McDonald's burgers, will never decay and will look basically the same as they do today forevermore. Why is that? Because preservatives, bro. So a few posts went viral on social media. A woman shared an image of her chicken nuggets Happy Meal that she bought 60 years ago in Alaska, and it looked exactly the same. And of course we have the age-old picture of the 12-year-old burger that just didn't rot. Now the truth is that yes, there is a whole load of preservatives in fast food, but they would still rot in a lot of conditions. If they're preserved and stored properly, they're probably gonna look reasonably similar in a few years' time. Coming in at number 2, we have Coca-Cola contains cocaine. Legend has it that sugary soda Coca-Cola got its name because it used to contain cocaine. I don't know about the name part, but the cocaine part is real. Back in the early 1900s, there was indeed a Class A narcotic in the soft drink. By 1929, the drug was removed, but when people started swilling back cool glasses of Coke in the late 1800s, they had no idea that cocaine was bad for them. Some even gave it as medicine to their children. There is still a worrying drug in Coca-Cola, something a large proportion of the world is hooked on. Sugar. Sugar can be a killer, and there is a lot of it in Coke. Finally, coming into number 1, one of my favourite fast food urban legends, we have the mutants. There have been a number of fast food mutant monster urban legends over the years, but the most popular apply to KFC and McDonald's. In the early 2000s, rumours started flying around the internet that McDonald's meat was actually made from genetically modified cow mutants. These were supposed to be specifically grown to be burger food in secret labs out there. The original source seems to come from a really sketchy, weird fake email uncovered in Brazil. The email said that people who had seen the creatures reared in the lab were totally horrified. Descriptions say that the mutants had no limbs, bones, horns or fur, and their heads were the size of a baseball and they were fed through tubes directly to the stomach. Basically, they were just big slabs of meat with teeny tiny heads. Similarly, KFC were accused of genetically engineering headless chickens. Now, so far as we're aware, these are all just huge myths. I think scientifically speaking it probably couldn't work, although I am excited about lab grown meat in the future. It's a game changer for vegetarians, honestly.